And welcome everyone to the ETBU Sportsnet. I'm Kenneth the K-Rock Klein. Throughout this fall semester, we are unveiling the all-time Tigers team with the top football players in the last 20 years of the ETBU's football program. This, of course, marks their 20th season since their inception, and we will be showcasing some of the all-time best players to come through ETBU through interviews and stories of moments on the field and off the field as well. This week, we are unveiling our offensive linemen, and I'm pleased to be joined by a two-time All-ASC first-team selection in Tyler Scott. Tyler, of course, was a part of the 2015 ASC Championship squad. He also played 33 games and was a member of the D3Football.com Offensive Line of the Week. Tyler Scott, first of all, congratulations. Hope things are going well with you right now. Welcome to the show.
Thanks for having me. I really appreciate it.
Yeah, absolutely. So I know it's been a couple of years since you last put on a Tiger uniform as well, but a lot can happen in those 2 to 3 years as well. So just tell us exactly when you graduated from ETBU, what was your major, and what it is that you're doing at right now.
So I graduated in the spring of 2017. My major was kinesiology, and I am currently coaching football down at Nacogdoches High School. So I'm not too far away from Marshall.
Yeah, I know. So just a quick drive over to Marshall, and I'll see some of your old guys as well. As I said, you were a two-time All-ASC member, All-ASC selection, and you're the only offensive lineman to actually achieve that honor. When you hear the name Tyler Scott being named to this all-time Tigers list, what does that feel to you to know that you were one of the best players to come through ETBU?
It's something I definitely appreciate. I went out there every game and gave it my all, and just try to lay it all out there. You never know when your last snap is going to be. You never know when your last game is going to be. You definitely couldn't have done it without coaches and teammates. Had a lot of special guys around me. Started off with Coach Pappas as my offensive line coach, and Coach Grimes and Coach Cochran. All of those guys were phenomenal guys and great teachers, and they got me to where I was. It wasn't me. And then, just being around the team, really special. So I definitely appreciate it and went out there and try to give them all.
Certainly. And obviously one of your earliest memories, of course, in 2015, when you were involved in a three-way tie for the American Southwest Conference Championship. But from that season as a whole, for you individually, what was that feeling like from that season about the guys on the team?
But prior to the season starting, you always think that, it could be a special year, but you never really know until you get a chance to play. And then once the game started rolling, we started winning, and good things happened. That team was really a really good football team. I don't remember much about the actual game against Hardin-Simmons to win the championship. If I'm being completely honest, I just remember winning it. And I tell guys all the time that I coach currently, you don't remember the plays, you remember the people you're around, and that was definitely a special team to be around.
Well, if I could tell you one memory of that Hardin-Simmons game, I just remember that it was in the mud, to say the least.
Yeah.
It was a hard-fought game, and obviously, when you're playing in a game like that, especially in the mud, as an offensive lineman, obviously you have a responsibility of trying to protect your quarterback and make your room for Kendall Roberson and Josh Warburton in this case. Like, when you're playing in that type of game, is that kind of a hard grind of a game to play in?
Yeah, it was a little difficult. I remember especially after the game, taking a shower, just finding mud everywhere. But it was definitely a lot of fun. The mud slowed everybody down, us and them included. So that might have helped a little bit too. But it was a fun game to be around, and happy we came out with a win. The game wasn't decided until pretty much the very end of the game. So we were just happy we could come out and win it and hold a share of the ASC championship.
Yeah, certainly a hard-fought game, 27-21, a big win. Of course, that ultimately was the biggest factor in why there was a three-way tie in the American Southwest Conference that season. It's real funny, Tyler. I think back to your time in ETBU. A lot of people will say that you were one of the core members that made ETBU a really big, like a football school now, because obviously we've seen improvements from the facilities and everything, and we're getting players that are producing winning seasons at ETBU. But also the fact that you've had several coaches that are now currently among the NCAA Division I staff, going back to Joshua Urkel, who after his 2015, he moves on to Austin P University, and now he's under Les Miles' system at Kansas. And then, of course, Scotty Walden, who now is the interim head coach at Southern Mississippi University. So, I mean, when you think back to your time playing or being under those guys, under their tutelages as well, what stands out to you about what they brought that you are noticing them propelling themselves to the positions they're in right now?
Yeah, I mean, those guys that you named, we all kind of knew as players that they weren't supposed to be at ETBU. We got lucky having those guys around. I mean, their football minds and the way they could get us motivated to do things that we didn't even know we could do was just beyond compare. Like you said, we got Coach Walden and then Coach Ergel, and then we also have Coach Grimes also went is coaching at Division I. We got Coach Cochran. We got Coach Bryant, and we got Coach Niedermeyer. All those guys came through ETBU while I was there. So we knew we had a special staff that was there, and we had good players, and we just tried to soak up all the information we learned from those guys. They're definitely a special time at ETBU.
Certainly. Now, what is the experience you had at ETBU mean to you, and with that, what impact did it make on you as a person and a player?
I mean, I love my time at ETBU. I got a lot of lifetime friends, people that I talk to regularly every day. Even people that I don't talk to regularly, anytime we see each other, it's like, we never miss a beat. ETBU is a special place in my heart. Got my degree from there, and it gave me a chance to play football, something I wanted to continue to do after I was done with high school. So I have nothing but fond memories of being at ETBU. It was really a blast. My 4 years, they definitely flew by. I remember the older guys telling me when I first got there, once you're our age, you'll look back and be like, man, time flies. And they were certainly right about that. But it was a good time. Still love all the people there, and a special place in my heart.
Absolutely. Now, what memories, obviously you talk about having the sort of bond that you have with your teammates as well. Obviously we've learned that you still keep in touch with some of your teammates as well, but are there any sort of special memories that you have about playing with your brothers on the team?
Yeah. I mean, we kind of brought it up earlier, but that mud game at Hardin Simmons, like I said, I don't remember plays. I do remember being in the mud, and once the clock struck zero, just feeling elated, feeling I hadn't had before. Prior to that, I hadn't won a championship in football. I've been playing for a little while, but never won a championship. So it's that kind of stuff. And then, just being around the guys, being in the locker room, goofing off and messing around, and the hard practices that you learn to love and you learn to enjoy. It's all that stuff, and just being around the guys in general. It's a lot of fun.
Absolutely. Now, of course, ETBU being a faith-based university, how has God used your time at ETBU to help you out with whatever it is that you might have been going through, or especially just being a student on campus, or helping you improve as a person?
Yeah, my faith definitely grew a lot while I was at ETBU. I grew up Christian, but just being in that environment helped me grow in that area exponentially. Um, God placed in certain people in my life that I needed at the time. Something I'll cherish forever. Uh, like I said, my faith has definitely grown since I've been there, and I really appreciate ETBU just for that. It's not just a regular college where you get your regular classes done and that's it. You also learn about the spiritual impact that others have on you and that you can have on others. So something I really cherished.
Absolutely. All right. So obviously you coach football now, so you're kind of on the other side of things, but you're helping, mentoring all these kids, but you're also kind of guiding them to their paths of life. So let's say, hypothetically speaking, you have a football player in your office and he's trying to figure out where he wants to go play in college. You're trying to recruit him to go play at ETBU. What would you say to him to get him to try to go take a look at the school?
I mean, I would not only tell them that football or that ETBU will be good for you in your football career, but like I said earlier, it will also grow you as a person. The people that you meet there, they'll be lifelong friends. It's not just a 4-year thing at ETBU. It's a lifelong thing. You know, every time I go back to ETBU, I feel like I'm back at home. You know, I get to get back around family, and I'll tell them that. You know, the football part of it's great. Don't get me wrong, but it's more than that. It's like Coach Ergo told us when we got there. It's a 4-year commitment. It's a 4-year commitment, and ETBU has definitely been a special place. And I would encourage anybody, if you're thinking about it, you know, try ETBU out.
All right, last question. Obviously, we're still kind of dealing with these uncertain of times, whether with what's going on with this pandemic or especially with what's happening around the nation and around the world as well. We always like to get some words of advice from former alumnus as well. Of course, being now that you're the most recent alumni that we've actually had a chance to talk to, do you have any words of wisdom for us?
Yeah, I mean, my biggest thing is just anything you do, just go 100% at it. You don't know whether it's football, you know, school or whatever. You know, you don't know when it's going to be your last time. You know, it could be today, it could be 45 years from now for whatever you're doing. Just whatever you do, go 110%, give it your all. You know, people love people that give it their all, and no matter what they're doing. So that would be my word of advice. Give it your all, look back, and don't have any regrets about whatever you've done.
Absolutely. Well, Tyler Scott, congratulations once again on being named to the all-time Tigers team list, and we wish you in your future endeavors.
Thank you.
That's Tyler Scott. I'm Kenneth the K-Rock Klein. Join us next time on ETBU Sportsnet as we will unveil our next member on the all-time Tigers team list. Stay tuned.